Hi everybody, welcome to Dad, Daughters, and Drinks. I am not actually with my daughters today. I am with the daughter maker, my beautiful wife, the lovely Dr. Bass. And the drinks today for me, I have a beer from New Belgium Brewing Company that is a bourbon barrel aged ale. I don't really taste the bourbon in it, but it's not too bad. And she's drinking some sort of white wine, Sauvignon Blanc. She's not real big on it, but it'll be good enough for this video. This is her first reaction, and we are going to react to Ren Money Game Part 3. Anybody who knows me knows that I'm a huge Ren fan.
Have you seen this video?
I have seen this video, so this is
really... really reacting?
Well, I won't be reacting, you'll be reacting, and I'll probably be reacting to you reacting. So what we're going to do is we're going to start playing it.
Are you supposed to say stuff when you...
Well, you know, if there's anything that you want to say, you just go ahead and stop it, or I'll stop it, you tell me to stop it, I'll hit the space bar, and then you can say what you're thinking.
Okay.
It doesn't have to, you don't have to say anything, but you can. If you're wondering what the heck's going on, why does that guy have a bag on his head or something, we can stop and talk about it.
Okay.
All right. Here we go. Those original chords were actually Grieg, the same guy that did Hall of the Mountain King and stuff.
What?
That reflection was cool.
What reflection?
The one on the piano. Yeah, I see the reflection. That's cool. She's tough, guys. She's tough. This is a live recording.
What?
It's a live recording.
Let me tell you a story about a boy named Jimmy. 1 year old and his first words were mine, gimme. 2 years old he was walking, 3 years old walking quickly. 4 years old he was running round the pavements of his city. 5 years old and his daddy told him, listen here son, you gotta learn to be a man. A man, he works for what he wants. 6 years old and he's reading, writing, top of the bunch. And when he's 7, his progression made him student number 1. 8 years old and he's praised for unusual grades. 9, his parents pay for private school to nurture the flame. 10, 11, 12, 13, he ascends and ascends. His daddy tells him, son, money is the means to all ends. 14, solving complex mathematical equations. At 15, IQ 150, still elevating. 16, he develops complex software code that detects weaknesses in cybersecurity protocols. 17, and he's sells his vision, keeping the share. Not yet an adult, but he's practically a millionaire. 18 and his daddy tells him, now you're a man. This world don't give a damn about you, so take all that you can. 19, he turns a profit, stocks and shares, invest in product. 20, double down deposits. 21, his income rockets. 22, he learns the truth is just an obstacle to wealth. If you manipulate the data, then a lie will sell itself. 23, a life of luxury, crystal and cocaine. 24, he makes the Forbes list, they're applauding his name. 25, and his daddy tells him, listen here son, while you're sitting in that palace, that don't mean that you won. 26, a business shift, he switches business to arms. He's 27, dealing nuclear and shells in Iran. 28, inside the Senate, money bought him a seat. He's 29, a role of counsel in the president's suite. Now he's 30, his daddy says you're losing the race. You're just a servant to the king, not even in second place. 31, a big maneuver for his daddy's approval, moving imports over borders from the exports out of Cuba. 32, moving grams, growing kilos to tons. He's 33, filling warehouses with powder and guns. 34, turf war with nobody to stop it. Blind eye from the popo inside of his pocket. 35, he gets the call. I'm sorry son, but it's your father. Had a heart attack, I'm sorry, he's gone. 36, getting pissed off, abusing his product. 37, eyes glazed, disposition demonic. 38, with a prostitute, a moment of passion, heating up a silver spoon and then chasing a dragon. 39, getting reckless and hungry for power. Daddy's words are still driving him to kill and devour. Makes a move against the cartel, but the strategy's flawed. They retaliate and leave him in a hospital ward. A bullet buried in his vertebra and one in his leg. The doctor sighs and says, I don't think you'll be walking again. Fuck.
What do you think so far?
I thought she'd be 35 to be in the Senate.
You know, that's actually a really funny point. Like, one other person has caught that. It was Knox Hill.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's 35 or 30, but he was like not old
35,
enough.
It's 35 for president, for sure.
Right, I think it was 30 for Senate, but he was 29, I think, when
Yeah.
they said.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what you got out of this so far?
I mean, I think you've got $1 million and you're like that smart. Like, why not invest? Where are you going to get into illegal stuff? Well, that's potentially dangerous.
Well, because his dad keeps telling him he needs to do more, right?
Well, if you're that smart, you should know that, you know.
Well, but obviously he's been trained from a young age to do what his dad says.
Right, and kids really do that.
Mine do.
Okay. I mean,
Now, what do you think about the music and stuff with the piano?
it's good.
and everything?
I like it.
You
It's
like
pretty.
it? All right. Now, have you noticed that this was all one shot up to this point? There's never been a camera break?
I mean, yeah.
Which is pretty amazing, really.
You're super into that. But I'm like, okay. I mean,
Well, it's impressive.
yeah, it's like live theater. Right? No, it is. But why are you,
Well, but there's a difference.
what?
Because with live theater, it's not like being filmed so that people can watch it over and over again. Now, if they're actually recording it for something, then it is still pretty impressive.
Right now?
Yeah, I know. But it's, and in fact, for that reason, people think he should actually have like his own Broadway show and stuff. Because everything's very theatrical, and
Oh, yeah.
and he's also very good at doing these, extended performances.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, maybe you're not impressed. I'm impressed.
No, it's not that it's not impressive, but like
You can
know.
forgive her.
No, I just think like in the theater, like that's like it is impressive, especially for someone who hasn't done it or had training, but like that is what happens in the theater. Like,
Yeah, but they can make mistakes, and nobody remembers
why can't he make a mistake?
because it's being recorded.
He can make a mistake. I think it makes it like more authentic.
Maybe, and
Okay.
I'm sure that happens, but
I'll say, well, I mean, go ahead.
now all I have to say, they're actually about to be on the cut. But that was a planned thing for technical reasons.
Let me tell you a story about a boy named Jimmy. He was 40 and he cursed the words, mine, mine, gimme. 41 he wasn't walking, 42 not walking quickly, 43 never running round the pavements of his city, 44 inside a palace with a mountain of gold. But those riches turn to rubble when perspective evolves. Weighing heavy on his conscience is the value of gold. Lamborghini for a life, trading money for souls. Jimmy followed the code inside the land of the free. Put your hand inside the cookie jar, take more than you need. And his example is exaggerated versions of me. And it's a version of him, and it's a version of she, and it's a version of you. There's no escaping the blame. The way we live is parasitic. Fuck for money and fame. Call the music. This isn't entertainment. This is real life. The way we live is lunacy, community, it declines. Hyperpolarized, always fighting, then we divide. Truth is less important than the money that we designed. Money's an invention. Politics from our invention. They all come from people's ideas. Did I mention? Border's an invention. Law and order fuel the tension. It leads to people killing each other. My solution? Everything is subject to change. We could build utopias if individuals were taught to use their brains. But if we teach kids in schools to always be sheep and put themselves before the herd, if there's more money for me, then there's no future I see where the humans survive. We're parasites inside a petri dish with cannibal minds. Mold will grow upon the surface and
Well, whether or not you agree or disagree with it, it's kind of interesting. What do you disagree with specifically?
Like that's the code, like to put your hand in the cookie jar and make more of it. I mean, I just don't.
Well,
and I don't think that's what kids are being. I would agree with the sheep part actually.
Yeah, he definitely, and it doesn't always come across so clear, but he tries to delineate between like deserving what you've worked for hard versus like greed that's detrimental to society. And I think that's really what he's talking about here, is if you have everybody who doesn't care about other people and they're just trying to like put other people down so they can make a bunch of money, then ultimately the society is going to fail.
Right, but the problem is character, not money.
Well, yeah, no, and this is about character, but it's applied through money generally, is I think what he's trying to say. Or in general, just like things aren't going well and we need to start thinking about alternate like ways to think about things and solutions.
Like utopia.
Well, things could be better.
I mean, but without a certain amount of self-serving, like people I mean, what's the point?
Well, yeah, and again, it's not about not being self-serving, but I think it's when you cross a line between like where you're now actively hurting other people or like doing bad things. Like you said, there's that point at which he was doing fine and he was, writing code and he was making money and he was doing great, and then all of a sudden he switched to, dealing drugs and all these other things. What's that? Well, it may not be that specifically, but yeah, there's all kinds of nasty stuff that happens.
Okay.
Seems that it dies, and our fate could be the same without this story to the wise. "45. Jimmy comes home out of the rain, soaking wet upon a wheelchair, drinking again. He is everything he wants, he is fortune and fame. He's a fortunate fool with an unfortunate fate. With a 45 caliber aimed at his brain. 45 a fitting number cause his age is the same. Here's the words of his father, it's such a damn shame. Then he presses on the trigger of a money game.
What's that?
Said looks small for a 45.
Well, it actually was a 45. There was actually kind of an interesting thing about when he did this part. Like, there was a lot of, like, it was like a big deal to get, like, the real gun inside the country and stuff, because England's so, like, anti-gun about stuff. And so when he drops the magazine out, there's actually somebody standing behind him that he hands it to, and then they give him a magazine for a different gun that he loads the bullets into, and then he swaps it back out again, so he's putting the original empty magazine back in, but they had to make sure that, like, he wouldn't accidentally, you know, put bullets in some gun that he could, you know, set it off and shoot somebody or something. You're laughing because I actually know this?
No, just the gun kind of.
Oh, yeah. In any case.
Being from Texas.
Well, that's a good point. Yeah. Now, actually, when I saw this, the first thing I thought of was Richard Corey.
I really liked, what is it, the second one? With, like, the seashells and whatever, and have a monopoly and do more. I thought that was, like, hilarious, because that's, like, 100%, like, kind of normal corporate development. This is kind of like...
So you think this is too extreme?
I think it's, like, a little disappointing, like, melodramatic and plausible. And so, musically, beautiful. But the story is, like, meh.
Well, he does say it's an exaggerated thing in the song.
Yeah, no,
right?
but that's, like, I mean, to me, it's, like, once it starts going like that, it's, like, turn off. I mean, it's just, like, it was great till that point. And then, like, okay, someone who's smart enough, or, you know, got an IQ of 150, and they're already, like, a millionaire, and they're gonna, come on now. Would you not watch Narcos? Like, you're gonna go take on a car? Come on, like, this is ridiculous.
Well, I think stupid stuff like that did happen in Narcos. Narcos 2, right? You had guys trying to take on those cartels. It never went well.
Not guys who were...
I mean, honey, he's not, like, writing... Like...
I know, but I'm just saying, like, I was cool, now, like, up to that point, and then it's like...
Did you catch that melody and the strings?
Of course, yeah.
Okay.
Kind of jazzy at the beginning.
Of course. What do you mean jazzy? Oh, the
like
same melody? When he did... Okay.
When he's in front of the mirror.
Yeah. Very good. Well,
and I thought it was a lapel pin, but it wasn't. It was the mic.
You thought what was the lapel thing?
I think it was the mic.
Oh, it is a mic on there, yeah. In fact, when I talked about that cut that they had behind the thing, so it was all because of the water that they had to, like, do that cut behind the chair, because they knew they only had one shot at it, because he didn't have, like, a backup suit or anything. So they're like, once they do the water thing, like, that's it. And so at that point, they have to take the microphone and actually, like, waterproof it for the water that's going to coming in, and it's going to be, like, on his shirt because he takes the jacket off. And so that whole thing after when he gets in the wheelchair was they could only do that once.
What is the deal with the bags?
I don't actually know.
Oh, okay.
I mean, so the Sack Man is from the Money Game 1 video. And there's a lot of discussion around how it's just kind of representing, like, every man and how everybody's kind of a part, I think, cogs in the machine or something, but nobody really knows necessarily. I don't know.
I'm just like, oh great, someone's gonna watch this and put a noose around their neck and kill themselves. I mean, by accident. I mean, that's my only other concern.
Well, you should watch the first Money Game video then.
Concern. What?
Well, no, the whole first Money Game video is really almost about, like, different ways to beat up and torture the guy with the sack on his head.
Well, great.
But we won't do that one.
Okay.
Well, thanks everybody. It was a interesting discussion with Dr. Bassett. She's always tough.
What? No, I...
If it's not like a boppy 80s beat, she's going to be very critical.
I like a lot of Ren stuff. I really do. I just like, and I thought the music was really beautiful. It's just like, intellectually, it just kind of like bottomed out after the whole, like, kind of turn. Yeah. It was interesting up to that point.
This is what and I got to live with.
Nah. Well,
I love you.
Right hand special. Last word.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.